Our next unit, which is titled Properties of Matter. The main idea for this next section is that most common substances exist as solids, liquids, and gases, which have diverse physical and chemical properties. Now, there are a couple of other phases that exist in outer space and in different situations, but we're going to stick to the main three types for our purposes right now. Essential questions. What characteristics identify a substance? What distinguishes physical properties from chemical properties? And how do properties of physical states of matter differ? We're going to be talking about these. Our new vocabulary: states of matter, solid, liquid, gas, vapor, physical property, extensive property, intensive property, and chemical property. So, starting off with substances. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. We've talked about that quite a bit. Matter is everything around us. Matter with uniform and unchanging composition is a substance. Unchanging means that it's set. The states of matter, the physical forms of matter, either solid, liquid, or gas, are called states of matter. Solids are a form of matter that have their own definite shape and volume. That means that their shape and volume doesn't change, generally. Liquids are a form of matter that have a definite volume, but take the shape of their container. So, they take the same amount of space up, but their shape depends on the container. Gases have no definite shape or volume. They expand to fill their container. Vapor refers to the gaseous state of a substance that is a solid or liquid at room temperature. Physical properties of matter. A physical property is a characteristic that can be observed or measured without changing the sample's composition. So that means that you can see it without changing what it is. And some examples of that: color, state at 25 degrees Celsius, so what is it, a solid, liquid, or gas at room temperature? Melting point, boiling point, and density. You can observe those without changing what it is. Physical properties of matter are extensive properties, such as mass, length, and volume. And these ones depend on the amount of the substance present. So extensive depends on the amount. And on the other hand, intensive properties, such as density, are dependent on what the substance is, not how much there is. So the big takeaway here is that intensive properties are really specific to specific types of matter. Chemical properties of matter: the ability of a substance to combine with or change into one or more other substances is called chemical property. Examples: iron forming rust, copper turning green in the air. There are a lot of examples of this. This is something that you have to actually visualize, and they're really specific because they have really specific things that you see when they happen. Observing properties of matter: a substance can change form, an important concept in chemistry. So that means that matter changes, and that's really what chemistry is, right? The study of matter and how it changes. And so there's physical properties and there's chemical properties, and both of them are used to identify substances, and they're really important to understand the difference between them. So if you have any questions about this, make sure and contact me. We're going to be talking a lot about these types of properties over the semester. This is a foundational concept, so you really have to understand this before we move on. Thank you, everybody. Have a nice week.